Hello and welcome back to another game of StarLadder Season 6. It is day number 8. It is the second game of a day where we see 5 games in total. We just had an enjoyable match between Mousesports and OsG. If you haven't seen that one, for people that are watching the VODs, go check out another VOD than this one. We are going to be seeing in this game, it is virtus.pro facing SheeverGaming, a team that is a new and upcoming from CIS, Russia and Belarus. A bit of a combined team, and once again I'm joined by Vykromond. Welcome back.
I just got that their avatars are their country of origin.
Yes.
So Obi-Wan Banana and Judo are the Belarusians, and Alba, Slanter, and Brain are the Russians.
Correct.
I did not figure that out before. Whereas, of course, for virtus.pro, Illidan is from the land of anime, and KSI is from, I guess, China.
Yeah, he has a panda bear, and I think that well, what does air? Whoa. Who's blue?
I've never known what the heck TMW's avatar is. I've been trying. He's had the same avatar for like months, and I don't know. It's like a magic eye thing. I don't really understand what it is. Maybe it's anime stuff too. I don't know.
Well, at least we know where Ines is from. From virtus.pro.
Yes, he's the only one representing the organization.
Yeah.
Arsart is representing himself.
Yeah, that's cool too, I guess. For people that don't know, SheeverGaming. I'm first going to be putting up the scores for a second so you can see what's at stake. virtus.pro so far had 2 games, both wins. We're going to see if they can get themselves 9 points after today, because you get 3 points for each win. SheeverGaming, they have played 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses. I have to say they haven't been going up against the most easiest of opponents, but they have been able to hold their own really nicely, and they have been showing this amazing kind of playstyle with, like, their initiation isn't the greatest, and they don't really initiate that much, but when someone else initiates on them, their coordination and counter-initiation and punishing the opponent for what kind of movements they make that might be slightly out of position, that's really amazingly done.
That's a great point. They're like Russian Dignitas, basically. They have a solid carry player who gets a lot of farm in pretty much every condition, and they wait for the opponents to make a mistake, and then they punish it very heavily. The tough thing is, when you're up against, you know, tier 1 teams, even if they make a mistake here and there, you'll still have trouble. At some point, you have to reach out and have the fortitude not just to punish mistakes, but to actually dominate in your own right. And that's the piece that they're going to need to climb to sort of the tier 1 level. But we'll see what they pull out against VP, because VP are a team that always takes huge risks. And that's the style that I think OsG are, in theory, best suited with their Dignitas-style counter-initiation play.
Yeah, I think so too. On top of that, though, I have to point out virtus.pro is a TI3 invitee, and they have been proven, even after getting the invite, that they are still worthy of that.
Yeah.
I'm saying it this way because we've seen Fnatic in a bit of a slump lately, even though yesterday, of course, they still won a match. And we're going to see them up against virtus.pro next game, so that's going to be very enjoyable as well. But, you know, it's a tough opponent to beat. That's still,
Definitely.
you know, it's on the table. Like, if you look at these 2 teams on paper, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be virtus.pro's. But I can't help but root for the underdog. That's just me.
Definitely. It's too bad that they're not going for that Luna. I know this is a lot of viewers might be seeing them for the first time, and I was extremely impressed with Judo's Luna play over the past few days. He misses maybe less than 0.5% of last hits as that Luna, which is very, very good. She is a pretty easy hero to last hit with, but still, I was really impressed. It seems like we're more likely to see him on the gyro this game, I guess. And virtus.pro definitely configuring themselves to try to counter that.
Yeah, so far they've gone for the purple lineup. We have got a puck, probably for solo mid. We have got an offlaner and a support. They're keeping their options open though, because we've seen puck offlane. We've seen Dark Series in the jungle, and we've even seen a long time ago Bane solo mid. So in theory, everything is still possible. OsG able to get their hands on a bad rider this game, picking up a Gyrocopter and a Shadow Demon, a combination that is really powerful as well. Of course, Disruption allows Gyro to get in range for the Rocket Barrage, and if you count a Soul Catcher in that as well, that's a lot of burst damage going through, so already very solid.
Definitely.
And probably another support to be picked up with that, as we've seen a lot of Linas, I believe, coming out from Alba. In terms of bans, they haven't been really that creative though. Nyx, Nikes, Wisp, Bearman. Banned out.
Yeah, fairly standard bans all around. VP taking out that Treant Protector. You've really seen this hero rise into the metagame, but most teams will pick him as 4-5. It's only DD that drafts him in the first 3, so you can take him as sort of a second phase ban. Take out that Treant Protector. We've seen StarLadder play that fairly effectively. And OsG actually banning out the Lina, which is an interesting choice. Lesh is still available for heroes that they could pair with the Shadow Demon, and that would be a pretty strong choice. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that.
Yeah, we are having the Lina still being banned out, unfortunately, and they pick up the Keeper of the Light, so a very defensive lineup so far.
It does give them the opportunity to do a lot of, like, you can keep chakraing the Gyrocopter if you want to just do constant rocket barrages, but you still have to get the opportunities, and Bane's going to make that fairly hard. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting draft. The one thing I'm looking out for OsG is if they pick a second farmer to go with the Gyrocopter, because VP have this interesting lineup where if you have a solo core, Bane could just destroy you by leveling Enfeeble and getting that Fiend's Grip off. But if you have a dual core, Gyrocopter is actually pretty good against Darkseer, but then the Darkseer will be effective against your new farmer. So it's a good all-around lineup that's difficult to draft against.
Yeah, and they're actually taking their time to pick up their next hero. We are still missing possibly a follow-up support for the Bane. You have still Jakiro and the Shrek in the pool if they really want that. It really depends on what they want to do. I mean, in theory, Nature's Prophet is there as well. Kind of depends on what they want to do again. And a carry missing as well. So that's going to be their heroes of choice. We still have the Luna in the pool, which you mentioned earlier. We still could see...
Jug.
Like, what?
We could say Jug. There's still a few options that they could go for.
There's quite a few. We did have Phantom Lancer getting banned out, surprisingly. I was actually quite surprised to see that happening.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think VP were going to do PL because it is an interesting ban. I completely agree with you because OsG have the Shadow Demon already, so they're somewhat decently configured to fight Phantom Lancer between Shadow Demon and Gyrocopter. Plus VP, there's not that much synchrony for the PL in their lineup. What they could do is something like support. Well, no, support Jug isn't that great this game because the Bane doesn't go that well with it. But there's still a lot of options, and I agree with you that I don't think PL was one that they were going to pick up.
Disruptor.
wow, that took a long time.
We could see Jug. I think now we will see Jug, except it's going to be for Airman.
And why? Because of the kinetic field combined with the...
Yeah, so what they do sometimes, VP, is they actually use the Jug support and the Disruptor support, which is incredible damage just by itself, plus the carry. But here they can just still do the spin to win, but have the Disruptor keeping people in place while Bane just sort of, controls the battlefield as well.
10 seconds remaining.
That could be very potent, and in that case, Virtus.pro is probably looking to win
5 seconds
their
remaining.
lanes because, well, everybody always tries to win their lanes, I know, but it's gonna be painful on them if they don't win their lanes in this case.
Yeah, I mean, they could go with a harder carry, but I just really feel like right now VP's lineup is not great for damage. Like, Bane is a okay damage dealer. Disruptor, except for the ultimate, is a fairly mediocre damage dealer. Darkseer is damage over time, and Puck can pick off heroes like Shadow Demon and Keeper of the Light no problem, but he's going to struggle against heroes like Gyrocopter.
Whoa.
Haha, Pugna. Okay.
Team pick.
Well, I wasn't expecting that one, to be fair.
I was also not expecting that choice, especially considering how many mids are still available in the pool.
Yeah, we still have the Queen of Pain. We still had...
Alchemist, okay.
Alchemist apparently as well. Yep. Well, let's see how they're gonna be doing with this, because Pugna, quite a nice hero to punish a hero like Bane. Especially if you use this Soul Ring to get health back, you'll lose extra health, as I have the bug with my mouse for this game. So I will have to restart my Dota, but I will leave it to you to talk it out while I do that.
Alright, so OsG Gaming versus Virtus.pro. I think most people watching are going to think that VP is heavily favored. I'm not here to deny that. All I'm saying is that OsG Gaming has the potential to surprise. They've been playing well against a bunch of teams. So the lineup for OsG Gaming will be Judo actually in the mid as Batrider. We've seen him play their carry role before, but here he won't be. Their carry will be piloted up by Brain on the Gyrocopter, supported by Obi-Wan Banan on the Keeper of the Light, and actually what it looks like a support Pugna, maybe? I don't know. StarLadder is on the Pugna. And finally we have Alba on the Shadow Demon. So I don't even know. We'll have to see how these lanes shake out, because they have a lot of possible mids, etc., etc. Looking towards virtus.pro, Tame My Wild playing as blue in the middle, most likely as Puck, KSI on the Darkseer, and then the tri-lane will be composed of Airman on the Alchemist, NS on the Disruptor, and Arsart on the Bane.
Okay, I am Loda. I just have to change my settings once I get there, and then I'll be ready to roll. As I just have to change my audio. Sorry, people inside Dota TV. I hear a disruption. Is there any action going on?
Well, some action over at the top rune, but it's just over who actually picks up the rune.
Ah, cool. So there I was, back again. And yeah, what's this Pugna gonna do? We see Obi-Wan roaming towards the bottom lane. Everybody of OsG actually still hanging in the middle lane. So it's kind of still a mystery about who is gonna be going exactly where. It looks like they're gonna leave the top lane entirely open though.
Huh. Yeah, so you can do Batrider in the jungle, and then Slander in the middle on Pugna, which I really do prefer. I don't like the support Pugna. I think he's a born mid, so this is cool. Going up against that Puck, then Batrider jungle in the tri-lane. This is probably the best option that they have, in my opinion, so it's good.
And a great rune for Slander to have as well, harassing Tame My Wild out of this mid lane already with those illusions. And able to, of course, secure the last hits in the nice with that as well.
And right now with the, yeah, he's doing quite well so far. I mean, Pugna used to be a very dominant mid hero. He just sort of fell out of favor due to, you know, either not fitting in the meta or not punishing enough heroes. He's a great Enigma / Tidehunter counter, but very few teams are playing Enigma and Tidehunter right now.
True. Or Skywrath Mage Punisher also, I guess.
He is, although the thing with Skywrath is he's still good even if you never cast the ultimate. So if you get faced against a Pugna, you can just not ult. But right now, Tame My Wild, I mean, this mid is the story right now. Their last hits are tied, but I feel like TMW is copying so much more harassment. Nice phase shift there.
I'm just telling the stream that I had to reset my Dota. Will be on black soon. There we go. I know that's not a word. Just saying.
So this is one of those games where neither team chooses to contest the tri-lane, which I think is absolutely the right call. What this does offer is an opportunity for both KSI to Judo to find their levels in the jungle, and Airman will have no contestation whatsoever up top, and that means that this Alchemist will get a ton of gold very early.
Yeah, an Alchemist with very early gold will have a very early Shadow Blade most likely, and therefore will not be that late game Alchemist that a lot of people are normally fear for when they see an Alchemist, but lately we've seen him, of course, be a lot more aggressive, and he should be able to be as aggressive as Brain can be on his Gyrocopter early on in the game, as in general the farm on Brain will go a bit slower than the ones on the Alchemist, as Alchemist has already got 2 levels in Goblin's Greed.
Yeah, I mean, he has no reason to go non-max goblins first in this case, Greevils rather. Just because it will give him that extra gold, it'll give him an edge on Gyrocopter right from the beginning, and I think this is the right approach from VP. It's interesting they haven't gone for their hyper-aggressive early approach that they sometimes do, but it's the right call because they don't really have the lineup to do that. Later on, they will be very, very powerful once these heroes get some levels. Darkseer putting Ion Shell on an Alchemist who can charge right in against somebody who's stuck in Kinetic Field. Even Batrider is going to have trouble, actually, unless he gets very, very fast farm. Batrider goes in, lassos somebody, and then gets trapped in a Kinetic Field. Suddenly your Batrider isn't all that useful.
Suddenly your Batrider is dead, most likely, if it's...
More often than not, yeah.
Yeah, if it's in the right conditions. But yeah, we do have only mid lane where people are actually seeing each other. The question remains, like, when is someone going to go active? When is someone going to go try to push their tier 1 tower down? Because we already see a bit of a push perhaps coming off from the top lane, or at least the lane equilibrium is not really near to the tower anymore. We do have NS a bit jungling together with KSI. He's level 3 right now, so doing really nice. As we have got level 3 now also up on the Keeper of Light, level 2 up on the Shadow Demon. But they are taking some experience away from Brain here. And actually, Brain is higher level than Alchemist.
He is a bit higher on XP. The reason this lane equilibrium is different is just because VP are spending less of their support's time ensuring that the lane stays static, whereas OsG are spending a lot of time. Like, you see NS basically on full-time jungling duty. They're stacking up these camps, getting a lot of XP from the Ion Shell, and they want this Disruptor to have, you know, his glimpse leveled up and maybe his ultimate as soon as possible, and they're getting that. he's going to level faster than I think a lot of the other supports on the map.
In the meantime, this mid lane looks to be, well, going nicely for Tamar Wild. 22 for 11, a lot of the knives going his way, and he is able to dodge all of those blasts against StarLadder, who is 14 to 7. So still a lot of the knives his way as well, as in basically also half the last hits he has. So the same as Tamar Wild, but Tamar Wild just has a lot more last hits.
Yeah, what's happening in the mid is that in order to harass, he's trying to use the Nether Blast to just push TMW back, but every time he does that, it pushes the lane. So the lane is coming into the tower for Tamar Wild, and then StarLadder can't come up and last hit it when it's so far up. Like, it's about to happen again.
Yep, it has to back out. And Tamar Wild doesn't have a bottle yet, or at least I think it's maybe in the courier. Yeah, it's in the courier. And courier going mid as well, with Boots going the way of StarLadder. And StarLadder has got an Invis rune sitting in his bottle. And it looks like we might have a bit of a push coming up from Bay. Never mind supports, we're able to pull the lane. No, we still have just people just... Oh, there's a first aggression. Thank you. Smoke up. virtus.pro. Dream Coil is there. StarLadder pops an Invis rune. Sentry Ward goes down. They knew he had it, and he will drop. First blood goes the way of Tamar Wild. Ward will be killed off, and that is gonna be the mid lane going the way of virtus.pro. And essentially, the entire difference in the game now being shifted the way of virtus.pro.
Very nice, very clean play there. Just getting that kill early. This secures the middle lane completely. TMW is 32 for 15 to StarLadder's 18 for 7 and a death. This puck has secured the mid. And that's the thing, Pugna... It's sometimes difficult to make him work, and you can see that he has just 2 in the Nether Blast, 2 in the Ward. I just don't think the matchup against Puck in particular is that favorable. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan Banan in trouble. He's getting the big Alchemist Bomb on his head, and yeah, they get another kill there. Nice dive, and the thing is, Bane with that level 3 Brain Sap, it's a good amount of pure damage, plus the huge Unstable Concoction charge.
Yeah, and that was a Keeper of Light. That was only level 3, so he is not going to stay alive that long. As in the meantime, of course, we haven't really looked at Judo, but he skipped his boots, and he now almost has his Blink Dagger ready. And that should be putting OsG back into this game, and will give them the opportunity to be aggressive on their part.
It's definitely a big pickup to get this Blink Dagger for the Batrider. My only concern is, what if they just shut down the Batrider in response? If OsG overcommit to something an opportunity the Batrider generates, and then Batrider dies very quickly, or isn't able to move the target, it could be trouble. Maybe they want Force Staff too. StarLadder once again going to get picked up.
Yeah, he tries to delay it, but... Oh, Welbar with the big disruption. Kinetic Field comes in. StarLadder will probably still go down, and that's just hitting on him, and he is going down, and there's nobody of virtus.pro dead in the process of that.
He missed the Nether Blast. If he had done it a little farther out in front of him without moving, he didn't want to have to move, but he could have probably clipped NS with the edge of it, which would have at least traded. And that's a 3-0 lift for VP. This mid hasn't gone the way that OsG wanted, and the Pugna will have to wait to really contribute.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they really just have to wait for that Batrider. He does have his Blink Dagger, but no boots. So, interesting. But they're gathering mid. Judo. They want to make a change. They want to make a kill. And they're going for blue.
So they've got the Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
It just came. It just came.
Yeah, just waiting for the right moment. Judo is looking for that right moment to kill off Tamar Wild, because that's the one that they would want to have. And just delay his own Blink Dagger, because Tamar Wild, he is close to that Blink Dagger of his own, and that will make a big change for virtus.pro, even more going in their, well, the game going in their favor.
Yeah, Tamar Wild has been doing very, very well. He has good farm. He got those 2 kills, or he participated in 2 kills, and so basically VP just earning an advantage across the map. Every, I want to say lane.
Well, here they come, StarLadder running, but it's not enough. Vacuum comes in from KSI, and Judo, he blinked himself in, will be picked off as well. 2 kills, again, going the way of virtus.pro, and StarLadder just getting punished for their draft, I feel like.
They are, absolutely. This Pugna is, at this point, just getting completely locked out of engagements. He's a fast little dude, but keep in mind he only has level 1 boots right now, so he's not able to escape from that lockdown, especially once the Static Storm comes down. What's Pugna going to do? I mean, he's primarily a caster, and not a beefy caster. His strength gain is... I forget what it is. It's 1.2. It is, I think, the lowest strength gain in the game, or tied for it. And he's gonna just die again.
Yeah, he is dead. Fiend's Grip, or boom, gone. Oh, Judo, now with the lasso. Will be able to pick up the Bane. He should be able to. Woohoo! OsG gets a kill.
Yes.
Up on the support Bane.
I think your expression of somewhat sardonic congratulation is exactly appropriate for the situation. Because, yeah, I mean, okay, you got a kill, but you lost your mid again. He now has 4 deaths, no gold to his name. He's falling behind in levels relative to virtus.pro support.
Oh, Shadowblade ready up on Illidan, looking for a kill. Ooh, he will stun himself though. Nope, never mind. Disruption not lasting long enough. Obi-Wan Banon will die. And there's nothing Elba can do to stop it.
I love Illidan's Alchemist because he never... You can always rely on him not to go Battle Fury or Midas first. He's gonna rush that Shadowblade and just kill people. And that's why VP is a great team, in my opinion.
And we are gonna see Brain in a lot of trouble as well. Disruptor coming in to try and help out. Cooldown though might be helping Ines to go down, or at least might be helping getting a kill there. Brain able to stay alive. Team Wild forced out of there. Obi-Wan Banon coming in. He has got almost full mana. Oh, orb reaches exactly on Brain. Painful.
It's not quite low enough to make that worth it, just because the rest of VP can't really chase in there. But it's nice to know that he's still there, because now, yeah, now they can pressure even harder.
Yeah, and oh god, look at that damage by Keeper of the Light. Homer Missile gonna chase down up on the Bane, and they will try to go for that. They'll even use a lasso, and they will kill him off. The glimpse was not enough, not fast enough anyway. Basically helped the Bat Rider a bit actually, as we see Tamar Wild now gonna be the target if he's not careful. He is gonna be scouted out and having, well, give him some vision with that Shadow Poison up, but won't die.
As long as the second poison didn't hit, which he successfully phase shifted, the blade cooldown came up, and good escape. Honestly, really good play from Tamar Wild this entire game. Not getting sort of psyched out by that weird mid pick, just playing normally, dominating that mid, and then transitioning into side lane ganking. Very nice play.
This is getting a bit out of control. I was mentioning during the draft, like, virtus.pro need to have a good laning phase, otherwise they are gonna be in a tough spot. Well, they're not only having a good laning phase, they're having an amazing laning phase, because right now they're 8-2 with having involved Brain inside these fights, so the gyrocopter. But they still haven't really involved the Alchemist. I mean, yeah, he got a solo kill and an assist, it's great. But he has just been able to farm and farm and farm, and he is just net worth-wise spiraling out of control. And he is charging up his stun, looking for a solo kill. He is gonna dive this. He wants to go for Judo. He is not gonna be able to do that, I was gonna say. But he has, yeah, he's stunning himself, because that's cool too. 4 people in the meantime for virtus.pro on the bottom lane, looking for an engagement.
The nice thing about, if you self-stun while you're still under Shadowblade, it doesn't de-stealth you, so as long as he wasn't in tower range, he was okay. This is going to be a big fight, potentially. A huge fight, because Airman's coming in already.
Yeah, and there comes a glimpse back to Judo, to the top lane. They will not be able to kill off the puck, though. They are able to kill off Ines. Bane stunned up, trying to stay alive, but Brain Step not being in time. Rocket Barrage doing some damage. Airman already out of mana, will be going down. That's good for OsG. Looking for more. Can they find more? Doesn't look like it, but they got 3 out of that engagement and didn't lose a single hero. Could this be the turnaround that StarLadder was waiting for?
I wouldn't call it a turnaround just yet, but what I would call it is great counter-initiation, right? I mean, it's exactly what I think you talked about.
Yeah.
We were talking about before game. It's very nice, and the Pugna ward placement was extremely good too. He put the level 3 ward just beyond the tier 1 tower in the most safe spot, where, oh no, nice glimpse.
Yeah, I gotta put him in the kinetic field. Brain trying to do what he can, but hey, he is dead. Elba putting the Nightmare Vacuum back, will go down as well, or, yeah, he will.
Still dead. Difficult to lose those 2 heroes after your first sort of convincing victory, and in the top, by the way. It's just soloing Judo with the long duration unstable concoction stun. So VP, even though they lose 1 fight, they immediately respond with 3 straight kills, and it's almost like that fight didn't even happen now, because they'll probably still get this tier 1. Maybe not, I don't know.
They should be able to get the tier 1. It's full on HP, but nobody is coming in to save it, to be fair.
Right, exactly. And they can... Yeah, I don't know how smart it would be for OsG. They actually are recalling somebody in, so Keeper of the Light will bring a Slander.
With the double damage rune, who knows? 4 versus 2. They're positive. They're gonna be more than 4, than 2 rather. They are going to be with 5. Everybody TPing in, but virtus.pro long gone. But they keep the tier 2, lose, or keep the tier 1, lose the tier 2 perhaps. Because now everybody used their TPs, etc. Apart from apparently StarLadder, because he got called in, of course.
Exactly.
So he's able to defend tier 2.
It's okay, I mean they keep the tier 2, but VP didn't want that tier 2 that much anyway. It would have been nice to get. But Illidan is just going to keep on farming. He has BKB coming in the pipe, and I think that's a
Dream
nice.
Coil. Tamer Wild might be in too far. Fiend's grip up on a gyro, but he still called the cooldown. Nice vacuum though. Cleans out Brain, cleans out StarLadder, and that is the end of this fight. As well, they do get the Darkseer in return, but yeah, they run.
VP have such incredible positional control of these fights. As long as they're happening in like an open-ish area, they can just dominate OsG by putting every single one of those heroes where VP want them. Between Vacuum, the Kinetic Field, I mean what you saw there, the Vacuum Kinetic Field combination, the Dream Coil, they know where OsG are going to be and they can handle them. The only situations that they can't are when it's under a tower, or when Gyrocopter gets BKB, which he's going for now, which is a smart pickup. The problem is how quickly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They're
attack.
mostly gaming. They continue to want to defend their tier 2. Fortification goes up. They're coming in. They're not with the Bat Rider this time though. Bat is still in base. We'll be able to TP in just a moment. And they are just playing 5 versus 3 Dota here right now. virtus.pro has got one farming top, who is now going to be attacked by Bat Rider. Dust will hit. There's a lasso. TP incoming from the Shadow Demon, but will they be able to do something? Demonic Purge helping out, but where's the damage? Where are they going to get the damage from? It's not enough. Sticky Napalms. Shadow Poison, here comes StarLadder as well, but they're a bit slow, and Airman, he is charging up his stun. He can try to turn this around, will be able to hit our StarLadder, but actually goes down. Pugnaward for the win.
That was an odd choice to actually charge up his stun there. I think they thought that with TMW they could completely turn it around, which was incorrect. Puck dropped very quickly, and so did the Alchemist. I actually think that Airman could have escaped because they had already used the dust, it was on cooldown. They would have had to pass it to another, I don't know. I thought that he would have gotten out with Shadow Blade and he didn't. Nice kills for us, like extremely important because Airman is so far ahead on net worth, 3k ahead of Gyrocopter. They gotta kill him when they can.
Yeah, it's a really insane farm for Airman, and like you said, important. He does have his BKB ready though. But yeah, they do have Demonic Purge and Lasso, so who knows what he can do with that BKB. As we have got the gold graph going the way of virtus.pro, no real surprise, but not as much as people might think. I mean, it's about 6-7k gold in favor of virtus.pro. I would say actually 6 rather than 7, and you know, there's 5 kills difference, there's a lot of towers difference. And this amount of gold, it's not that much, I think. Experience graph, also not that much in favor of virtus.pro, still in favor of virtus.pro, but 3k for 17 minutes into the game. It's not insurmountable.
It's not. I totally agree with you. The other thing is, of course, gold graphs with heroes like Alchemist or Doombringer, I should say Doom, are somewhat deceptive since those heroes get a little bit less of a return on farm compared to other carries. So with Alchemist, you need to have his net worth higher than the people he's fighting to win, because fundamentally the hero requires that farm to actually make him work. So VP have a big advantage, but a lot of it is concentrated on this Alchemist. Not that that's bad, but he does need it. It's like a baseline.
Yeah, his whole hero is built around the Goblin's greed, so it, you know, yeah.
Top tower has fallen.
In creating it's counted that he should be farming more than others, but they do take down the tier 2 tower. Finally. There's 4 heroes of virtus.pro. They're gonna look for an engagement. Better yet, Airman is gonna look for an engagement. Walks right past the sentry ward though, and he is charging up his stun, getting a glimpse back on Brain, and Brain, yeah, you're done.
He's got to buy, in my opinion. Interesting that he didn't choose to buy the BKB recipe before dying. I feel like he has to rush it, and the odds of him buying back here, he can keep buyback, but there's no real reason unless VP really go for the tier 3. I guess actually that's fine. Alba in a little bit of trouble here. Nice disrupt, nice purge.
Yeah, and there's still a tier 1 mid standing, by the way, as Bat Rider goes down. But yeah, virtus.pro, they're just diving this. And they could be paying heavily for this. Should OsG find a good initiation, but Kinetic Field, Static Storm, Alba will go down, StarLadder will drop as well. No hope for him, and this should give the tier 1 tower to virtus.pro. Illuminate can try to slow it down, but he should not get too close, otherwise this will happen. Dream Coil, Waning Rift, and Blinding Light will delay his execution, but execution nonetheless. A lot of damage being done. Oh, that's a kill. Oh, no, or not. Nah,
Good
never
phase
mind.
shift.
Good phase shift. And switching his treads to strength helped a bit as well, and he's TPing out into safety.
Yep. Another great vacuum by KSI there. We were talking about the positioning. He vacs right into that disruptor wall, and then disruptor static storms on top of it. Grats on having all of your casters silenced. You can't win that fight. So Oslick, after that last sequence, just completely on the ropes. They have to try to get the BKB in any way, shape, or form on the gyrocopter, and the available space to do that is dropping rapidly. Batrider is making his force staff, but I almost think that he should let Gyro have as much farm as possible.
Yeah, I was saying a moment ago that it looked so even, and since I said that, so since the gold graph was at 6k, it just went from 6 to 12k in favor of virtus.pro, and experience graph went from 3 to 10, so not that good, as yeah, Airman just stunned himself because he likes that, I guess.
Well, sometimes you try to sort of run in thinking that you can get initiation. It's okay. I mean, as long as you have your Shadow Blade, and you're not in range of the rest of the team, it's fine. He is making that Assault Cuirass, and that's because Gyrocopter still has to rush BKB. The Cuirass will be a huge, huge deal because it'll give them all armor against Gyro's attacks, which are still not that strong, especially once you factor in Enfeeble, which is now at level 3. The Gyrocopter just won't be able to blow up the team of VP. It is their solo core hero.
Yeah, and right now virtus.pro is just starving Oslick Gaming. Like, they have got this Gyrocopter, but he needs farm. They've got a Pug now who is building a mechanism but is not able to finish it because he has to give his farm to the Gyro. And virtus.pro, they just cleared out the entire jungle of Oslick Gaming. They're kind of already stopping mid as well as top by having the wards there, and now also ward placed in the jungle. It's basically saying, you know what? This is now our jungle, even though the ward's gonna get dewarded, which is nice for Oslick Gaming, but it's still like a signal saying, you know, it's ours. And it looks like they might be going for a fake back here and might be wanting to go for initiation still, as they see people roam. Oh.
Well, I don't know, because Vayne might get caught, but this was just purely, we'll clear out your jungle at every cooldown possible, so that your Gyrocopter has no room to farm. They're constricting the available farm area. Like you said, they're declaring, this is our jungle now, like, you won't get the farm here, or you'll only get it every other minute.
Yeah, it looks like Roshan might be next up on the menu for both teams. We do have a smoke up for Oslick Gaming, it's about to run out though. As virtus.pro is hanging around the ancient stack that was built up for Airman, who is gonna get healed up again by the urn. And it looks like Oslick gives up a bit on the Roshan at least.
It's probably wise.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's iffy for them to actually take that fight again because the Gyrocopter, he needs 800 more gold just to have BKB, and without the BKB, I don't see them having any chance of a fight. With it, it's still a very, very uphill climb. Without it, I don't think it happens.
Yeah, they should be getting what they, you know, in return for the Roshan, they should be getting at least free farm time, which is what they should be happy about, because otherwise they're not gonna get it. virtus.pro is, of course, taking the Roshan as expected. And as in terms of farm time, not that much farm being done. There is an ancient stack though, will be taken down by Brain, who is gonna not be able to sack it once more, so I'm not sure why he tries, but it's nice for him anyway. Airman with the ages now. This is looking bad for Oslick Gaming.
Soon, VP will have BKB on 4 heroes. It's done on Bane. It's almost done on Darkseer. Oh man, they catch out Alba too.
Yep. Kinetic Field locks him in. He is done for.
Everybody except NS, every single person except NS is going to have a BKB on VP. And in the absence of great Gyrocopter damage, they rely on things like the fact that Pugna deals a lot of magic damage quickly, and he's got that Nether Ward. They rely on Keeper of the Light Illuminate hitting twice. And 4 BKB players, it's almost better than a pipe. You can just high ground without any concern whatsoever.
And they can take the tower without any concern either. It's just Illuminates that are trying to stop it from happening, but both KSI as well as Airmen are just very tanky right now. There's a mechanism up on their team as well. Fortification will still go out, but will Oslick Gaming actually try to go in? Because I don't think they can. I don't think they should. Cooldown will delay it a bit. Maybe give an opportunity for the deny for the tower, but no can do. Airman takes it.
Judo, wow. Nice play by TMW, totally avoiding the battle.
Oh, Judo gets Gilliam's back. inside the kinetic field. And that's gonna be Judo going down. The stun still hit up on Elba from on the high ground from Illidan, but couldn't do something with that. But without a Bed Rider, no lasso, but well, virtus.pro, they back off. Going for the last tier 2 probably, before going up the high ground.
Most likely. They did lose the, they can afford to wait, A, because they have the Aegis for about 4.5 more minutes. And then B is that they used BKB on Illidan, and I think they want it to be up for the next push.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And most likely the case. And defend their own tier 1 tower, not wanting to give any extra gold to OsG Gaming. I mean, the whole part of starving a team is to not give them any gold, so also your own tier 1 towers therefore become objects to defend.
Exactly. I mean, VP still have 5 outer towers, and now BKB is done for Puck as well. And so OsG, they're going to have to find a way to bait out those BKBs as soon as they see that the Puck one is done. They somehow have to bait it and then win the fight after the BKBs expire.
Yeah, it
no
is.
Pressure.
No pressure, and I mean, it is so tough right now. I mean, we saw one fight where OsG Gaming did the thing that we said that was their strong point, the counter initiation. They haven't been given the chance to counter initiate because every initiation coming off of virtus.pro. Oh, wait a second, Judo. He's gonna be safe for now, but will be picked up. Fiend's Grip on a BKB gyro, and he gets brought down as well. StarLadder, next target. Illuminate flying through from a Keeper of Light that's already way further back, and StarLadder will be dying. Probably. There we go. Oh, Timo Wild. He is chasing way into the base. Wants to have the last target. Doesn't get it with a double damage rune. But they will be able to get the tower. And I'm not sure if they're gonna be stopped in time to take the tier 3 as well. Or before the tier 3.
They're going to push in. I don't see how they can be stopped right now. Gyrocopter doesn't have buyback. Pugna, who's holding their mechanism, doesn't have buyback. Puck is just keeping their tabs on their fountain right now for Tame My Wild, so it's just so much pressure coming into OsG that I don't know how they stand up against. Pugna channeled an entire life drain in that last fight, and it did nothing because 3 players were BKB'd for VP.
It's so tough to deal with. And Airman, he's just bashing on the tier 3. Soon he will have another BKB charge up, 9 seconds, so nothing really can stop them. Judo will go down again, cooldown will come down, but Brain can't really force them back, or can he? Flak Cannon still goes through, does a lot of damage to Arsard. KSI also forced to pop his second BKB. Second BKB for Airman as well, but he doesn't care about heroes, because buildings are way more interesting to kill and give way more gold as well, as he kills StarLadder because he could. Not a kinetic field, at least Brain is able to walk out of that one. Keeper of Light not though. And Elba not either, not able to walk through, but Ruby gives back. Vacuum!
Back.
Yeah, disruption from Elba. They try to fight, it's admirable, but how much will it actually work? Hey, BKB Pain, surprise! And this, I can't say anything else, but this probably is GG.
Oh my god. They're just farming them. They're just completely farming the heroes. And it's just, once all those BKBs are up, none of your tools work. None of your tools are actually effective to stop this team. And there was a good flak cannon there until VP were like, oh right, Enfeeble is a spell. And as soon as Enfeeble came down on the gyrocopter, flak cannon didn't matter anymore, and they roll over.
And Judo just coming in with the latest flame break. Trying to do something, but nope. Now he dies too. Smiley face. And we'll see the throne explode fairly soon. This was, of course, another StarLadder game. virtus.pro, we'll see them again in just a moment, because it's going to be virtus.pro taking on Fnatic. And that should be a very enjoyable match. Probably a bit more even than this one was. It's not the last time that we see OsG, though. We're going to see them up against Na'Vi after Fnatic takes on virtus.pro. So stick around for virtus.pro Fnatic. More StarLadder. This was game 2 of 5 games today. StarLadder Season 6, day number 8. And oh yeah, and I am Sheever, so yeah. And my co-caster today is a Vykromond. So any last words?
No, great play by VP. Again, showing why they're strong. They have somewhat unconventional drafting approaches. We often see Darkseer used as an anti-carry. Here we saw him used as setup, as positional setup for the rest of the heroes. Excellently done by them. I love watching this team. They're always really fun. And yeah, hoping for some more fun games today after this.
Me too. So let's jump ourselves right into that one because official starting time should be in just a couple of minutes. We are, of course, having, in theory, 1 hour for each game. Don't worry, though, no game will start until the previews is over, and we'll just ride all along on those matches. And if one runs late, the other will start only after. So this one ended right on time. We'll see. Fnatic taking on virtus.pro next in StarLadder Season 6. Don't go anywhere because I don't think you want to miss that one.
6 of the legendary StarLadder TV series. 16 top European teams. 120 season matches plus an epic LAN final voiced by your favorite shoutcasters. Watch the StarLadder TV matches using your Dota 2 client. Get an exclusive StarLadder HUD. Tickets on sale now.